Okay, thank you so much. I'm a lot excited to be presenting on the topic of feedback versus criticism. And today I'll be talking to my friends in this primary 4 class, and I think that the background knowledge that they have is that they've been criticized before. Maybe they may not have known that that's what it means. They've also received feedback at different stages from maybe the clothes they wear or the artwork, the painting they've learned how to do. Maybe the parents may have just given them praises. You look good. I love your sandals. I love your uniform. And maybe while they're learning how to write, they may have received a lot of feedback from their teachers. They may not have known that's the name, but today we'll be going to a session and a lesson session that will distinguish between feedback and criticism. So first of all, the intent is to make the student understand what feedback is, and in doing that I will be using the word feed and back, separate both of them. It's like you are having to give someone some kind of response, some kind of feeding backwards. It's more like after the action has taken place, you feed the person with information as to how the person performed during that action. So that would be my simple definition of what feedback is: information about performance, information about how someone looks, basically any kind of information that is positive and will help the person to grow. Then what is criticism? Criticism is more like a judgment. It's different, almost like feedback, but it's different. It's more like giving a judgment as to whether something is good or bad. Ultimately, it's usually negative, and it punctures the self-esteem of an individual, a child, or anyone who is trying to get better at what he or she's doing. So what method am I going to use to present this lesson? I'm going to start by asking them to share an experience of how they've received feedback, whether they've been told that their clothes look great, or they've been told that their drawing or painting looks awful, or whether they've ever heard someone tell their mom that the cooking is bad and all that. So I'll be asking them to share their personal experiences, and based on those personal experiences we'll be trying to differentiate which of them was feedback and which of them was criticism. I think it's important that they share their experiences, and then we take the data from whatever they're sharing on the spot. I mean, with different and diverse opinions, it's easier to take what feedback is and separate them into what criticism is. I'll also be sharing a story of how this young boy who learned how to draw a butterfly became a great artist just because every canva, every stage of the drawing was given a positive remark by his teacher. Of course, the first drawing that came out didn't look as awesome as the last one, but just because the teacher didn't say, "Look boy, this is terrible," teacher patted him on the back and said, "Look boy, I love the effort you're making. If you could just walk on the wings of this butterfly, maybe add a little color here, outline, shade, and give us something better, I think we are going to have a powerful image here." And that's exactly what the boy did. So note that for feedback, the idea is to give information on the action that has been taken and not to the individual. But for criticism, we usually have to bring the individual down. So you see, the difference is simple. The difference is simple. It's about focusing on the action and not the individual. And also, feedback is a personal opinion, because you're just telling this person, "This is what I think. What if you do it this way? It could be better. What if you add more sugar to the cream? The cake might taste better." So I want the students to understand that feedback is tailored. The intent of feedback is to help whatever was done become better. And you know, the greatest room in the world is a room for improvement. And they need to know also that this is a critical element of learning, because whether they're trying to write or improve on their handwriting, whether they're trying to get better at reading, whether they're trying to get better even in sports, they're learning how to play the piano, incremental growth would come from stage to stage feedback. And they also need to learn that it's all a work in progress. And when you're giving criticism, you're not helping the students to grow. I'll also be sharing that story because I believe that storytelling is a very important part of learning, and it will help them to pay attention. It will help them to also remember the lessons. And then we'll be differentiating between feedback and criticism. One of them is positive, which is feedback, the other one is negative. One of them is tailored towards improvement, the other one is to bring someone down. Just those two differences might really help. And I'll also be encouraging them to learn how to give feedback when they get home, from telling their parents or their mom, "Oh mom, your food tastes delicious, I totally love it." Or probably, "Mom, I love your food, but probably it's a bit salty. If you could reduce the amount of spices, it would be better." So something like that. That would be like the take-home assignment. At the end of the day, I'll be asking them if they have learned anything from the lesson. I'll be asking them if they have been able to take anything away. Beyond this and that, I think this is a great topic, and thank you so much for this opportunity. Cheers, and thank you, Center. Thank you.